Let's learn about the Kushanas step by step in the simplest way possible. Imagine I'm telling you a story about a group of ancient people, their journey, and their importance. Who were the Kushanas? 1. The name. The Kushanas were also called Uchis or Tocharians. This is because they came from a group called the Yuezhi tribe, which had 5 smaller groups or clans. The Kushanas were one of these clans. 2. Where did they come from? The Kushanas were nomadic people who moved from place to place instead of settling in one area. They originally lived in the steppes of North-Central Asia, near modern-day China. How did the Kushanas arrive in India? 1. First, they fought other groups. They defeated the Sakas in Bactria, modern-day Afghanistan. Then they defeated the Parthians in the Gandhara region, modern-day Pakistan. 2. Gradually, they moved southward. The Kushanas expanded their rule into India. Their territory covered the lower Indus Basin, areas around the Indus River in present-day Pakistan, the Gangetic Plain, reaching as far as Varanasi, a city in northern India. Why was Mathura important? 1. A trade hub. Mathura became a key trade centre during the Kushana rule. Traders from different regions, including Central Asia and India, gathered there to exchange goods. Example, think of Mathura as a big market where people traded silk, spices and precious stones. 2. A cultural centre. Mathura was not just for trade, it also became a centre for art and culture. Artists and craftsmen created beautiful sculptures and buildings. Example, imagine artists carving statues of kings, gods and Buddha with great skill. Important Kushana kings. Some kings of the Kushana dynasty were especially notable. 1. Kujula Kadphises. He was the founder of the Kushana Empire in India. He helped unite the different Yuezhi clans. 2. Kanishka, most famous. Kanishka was the greatest king of the Kushanas. His empire was huge, stretching from Central Asia to India. He supported Buddhism and held a great Buddhist council. Example, imagine a king who ruled a big land and supported peace and learning. Why are the Kushanas important? 1. They brought new cultures together. The Kushanas connected India, Central Asia and China through trade and culture. This led to the spread of Buddhism in other countries like China. 2. They encouraged trade. They built safe roads for traders and used coins for easy transactions. 3. They built art and architecture. They supported the creation of sculptures, temples and monasteries. 4. They helped spread Buddhism. Kanishka especially helped Buddhism grow and spread to far-off lands. An easy example to remember. 1. Think of the Kushanas like a bridge. They connected India, Central Asia and China, helping trade, culture and ideas flow. 2. Imagine a powerful king like Kanishka. He ruled over a huge empire and supported art, religion and learning. 3. Picture Mathura as a big market. Traders from many places came to Mathura, making it a busy and rich city. This is the story of the Kushanas. If you want to know more about their kings, culture or achievements, let me know. Let's dive deeper into the story of Kadphises and make it super simple, step by step. Imagine it's a fun history class where I'm explaining everything like telling a story. Who were the Kadphises? 1. Kadphises is not one person. It's the name of 2 kings. Kujula Kadphises, Kadphises I, the father and founder of the Kushana dynasty. Wima Kadphises, Kadphises II, his son who expanded the empire. 2. The Kushana dynasty. The Kadphises kings belonged to the Kushana dynasty. The Kushanas came from Central Asia near China. They were nomads, people who moved from place to place, but became rulers in India. Hashakula is the founder of the Kushana dynasty. Kujula Kadphises started ruling around 50 CE. He is called the father of the Kushana Empire. 2. What did he do? He captured the Kabul Valley. This area is in modern-day Afghanistan. It was like a doorway that connected India to Central Asia. Example, imagine you're a trader with goods to sell. You need to cross the Kabul Valley to reach India or Central Asia. Controlling this valley gave the Kushanas power over trade routes. 3. Issued coins. Kujula Kadphises made coins with his name on them. Example, think of these coins as his way of saying, I'm the boss here. Wima Cadphises II. 1. Who was he? Wima Cadphises, also called Cadphises II, was Kujula's son. After Kujula died, Wima became the king. 2. What did he do? He expanded the empire. He conquered northwestern India and reached as far as Mathura. Mathura, near Delhi, became an important centre for trade and culture. Issued gold coins. Wima Cadphises was the first Kushana king to issue gold coins. His coins had fancy titles like Lord of the Whole World. Example, this title shows that he wanted to appear as the most powerful ruler. Made the empire rich. His coins show that the empire had a lot of wealth. Example, when a king can make coins from gold, it means the kingdom is doing very well. 3. Trade and prosperity. During his rule, trade flourished. India traded silk, spices and gems with other countries. The Kushanas connected India, China and the Roman Empire. Example, think of the Kushanas as a bridge for traders from different parts of the world. Roman gold coins. India got gold coins from Rome in exchange for goods. These Roman coins inspired the Kushanas' own gold designs. 4. Religion. Wima Cadphises was a devotee of Lord Shiva. Some of his coins had pictures of Lord Shiva. Example, this shows that he supported Hinduism while also encouraging trade and culture. Why are the Cadphises important? 1. They built the Kushana Empire. Kujula Cadphises started the empire. Wima Cadphises made it bigger and richer. 2. They controlled trade routes. The Kushanas controlled the Silk Road and other trade routes. These routes connected India with China, Central Asia and Rome. 3. They issued coins. The coins of gold and copper were symbols of their wealth. Example, coins were like advertisements of the king's power and prosperity. 4. They supported religion. Wima Cadphises supported Hinduism and Shiva worship. A simple example to remember. 1. Kujula Cadphises. He is like a builder who creates a small house, the Kushana Empire. He captures the important doorway, Kabul Valley. 2. Wima Cadphises. He is like a designer who turns the house into a palace. He makes it grand by adding gold coins, more land, and trade connections. 3. The Kushana's role in the world. Imagine the Kushanas as a big tree with branches connecting India, China, and Rome. Their empire was like a hub where traders came from different parts of the world. If you want to know more about the coins, the Silk Road, or the trade goods, let me know. Let's break down Kanishka's rule and his impact on history in the simplest way possible, step by step. I'll make sure everything is super easy to understand, like you're learning it for the first time. Who was Kanishka? 1. Kanishka was a king of the Kushana dynasty, and he is one of the most famous rulers in Indian history. He ruled from 78 CE to 120 CE. This means about 2,000 years ago. He is important because he helped spread Buddhism, and his rule is remembered for its military strength and cultural influence. What was Kanishka's empire like? 1. His empire was very big. When Kanishka became king, his empire was already large, covering places like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Punjab and parts of India. His empire stretched from the north, where Kashmir is, to the south towards Malwa, which is modern-day Madhya Pradesh. It also stretched from the west, now Afghanistan, to the east, now Varanasi in India. Think of it this way. Imagine a giant rectangle on a map, and Kanishka's empire filled up that space, covering most of northern India and parts of Central Asia. 2. The capital of his empire. The capital city of his empire was called Purushapura, which is now known as Peshawar, located in modern-day Pakistan. The capital was like the centre of Kanishka's kingdom, where the king lived and where important decisions were made. Kanishka's role in religion and culture. 1. Kanishka and Buddhism. Kanishka is remembered for being a big supporter of Buddhism. Buddhism is a religion started by Buddha, who was a spiritual teacher in India. Kanishka didn't just believe in Buddhism. He also promoted it by building temples, stupas, and inviting Buddhist monks to teach people. He is famous for holding a Buddhist council. a big meeting of Buddhist scholars and monks to talk about the teachings of Buddha and to preserve Buddhist scriptures, holy writings. For example, imagine you have a school and you invite all the best teachers to meet and decide how to teach students about Buddha. Kanishka did something like that, but for Buddhism. 2. Building monuments for Buddhism. Kanishka built beautiful stupas, big dome-shaped structures, to honor Buddha and spread Buddhism. One of the most famous stupas he built was in Purushapura, modern-day Peshawar. These stupas were like giant places of worship where people would come to pray and learn about Buddhism. Kanishka's coins and wealth. 1. Gold coins. Kanishka's empire was wealthy. He used gold coins to show off his power. His coins had his image and often had symbols related to Buddhism or Hinduism, the two main religions in his empire. The coins were important because they helped in trade and also showed how rich the empire was. Kanishka's achievements and legacy. 1. Kanishka's military power. Kanishka was a strong military leader. He conquered many areas and expanded his empire to include more land. His empire reached from Kashmir in the north to Pataliputra, modern-day Patna in Bihar, India, in the east. He also expanded westward, adding Afghanistan and parts of Central Asia. Think of him like a general. He led his army in many successful battles and won more land for his kingdom, making his empire one of the largest in India at that time. 2. The Saka era, starting 78 CE, most lasting contributions is that he started the Saka era in 78 CE. This new calendar was used to count years, and it is still used in India today. So when we say 2024's Common Era, in Kanishka's time, they would have been using the Saka calendar, which started in 78 CE. Example, think of the Saka era like starting a new way of counting time, like how we count from the year 2024 today. But back in Kanishka's time, it was 78 CE. Summary. What makes Kanishka so special? 1. Kanishka was a strong and wise king who ruled a vast empire from 78 CE to 120 CE. 2. He spread Buddhism by building stupas and inviting Buddhist scholars. 3. He was a powerful warrior, expanding his empire from Kashmir in the north to Malwa in the south. 4. He introduced the Saka era, which started in 78 CE, and it is still used in India today. 5. His capital was Purushapura, which is now Peshawar in Pakistan. Easy example to remember Kanishka. Imagine a big king who ruled from the north to the south, spreading Buddhism across the land. He was like a teacher who built beautiful temples and stupas for Buddhism. He started a new calendar, the Saka era, and helped make his empire wealthy and powerful with gold coins. If you have any more questions or want me to explain any part again, just ask. I'm here to make sure everything is crystal clear for you. Let's go even deeper into the details of Kanishka's life, step by step, using the simplest and clearest language possible. We will make sure to cover everything so it's easy to understand and memorable. Who was Kanishka? Kanishka was one of the most important kings of the Kushana Empire. His reign, time as king, lasted from about 78 CE to 120 CE. He is known for expanding the Kushana Empire to become very big and powerful. Kanishka's capital, Mathura. Mathura was one of the most important cities in the Kushana Empire. Kanishka made Mathura his second capital. A capital is a city where the king lives and controls everything. Coins, sculptures and inscriptions writings found in Mathura show that it was a key city for the Kushana kings. Why is this important? The coins found in Mathura tell us that the city was a major center for trade and culture during Kanishka's time. Coins and what they tell us about Kanishka's empire. 1. Where Kanishka's coins were found. Kanishka's coins were found in many different places like Shravasti, Kaushambi and Banaras. This means Kanishka controlled a large part of India. His empire stretched over a big area of the Gangetic plain, the area around the Ganges River. Number 2. Kanishka's coins showed different gods. Kanishka's coins didn't just have pictures of Buddha, who was important to him, but also Greek gods and Hindu gods like Lord Shiva, Nandi, Shiva's bull, and the Trishul, a weapon of Shiva. This shows that Kanishka was tolerant of different religions. He believed that people should respect all gods, not just one. Example, help understand. Imagine you have a coin with pictures of Buddha, a Greek god, and Lord Shiva. This shows that the king accepted many different religions, just like how we respect many different cultures today. Kanishka and art and literature. Kanishka loved art and books. Kanishka loved art, like sculptures and paintings, and literature, books and writing. He supported artists who made beautiful statues and other artworks. He also helped writers who created important books in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is an ancient language of India. This helped spread knowledge and culture in his empire. Example, imagine being a king who asks artists to create beautiful statues and writers to write important books that everyone can read. This is what Kanishka did. He encouraged the growth of art and learning. Kanishka's war with the Chinese. 1. Fighting the Chinese. Kanishka wanted to make his empire even bigger. He fought against the Chinese to take land from them. 2. First expedition, first try. In his first attempt, Kanishka fought against a Chinese general named Pancho. Kanishka lost this battle. 3. Second expedition, second try. Kanishka didn't give up. He fought again in a second expedition, another attempt, and this time he won. He defeated Panyang, who was the son of Pancho. Because of this victory, Kanishka was able to take control of several important places like Kashgar, Yarkand and Khotan, which are located in modern-day China. Example, imagine a king who loses a battle once but doesn't give up. He tries again, wins and takes new lands. That's what Kanishka did by conquering new lands from China. Kanishka and the famous Dr. Charaka. 1. Kanishka and Charaka. Kanishka supported the famous Dr. Charaka, who was an expert in medicine. Charaka wrote an important book called the Charaka Samhita, which was a guide on how to take care of health and treat diseases. 2. Why is this important? By supporting Charaka, Kanishka helped improve healthcare and medicine in his empire. Charaka's book helped doctors understand how to treat people and how to stay healthy. Even today, doctors still read Charaka Samhita to learn about old medicines. Example, imagine being a king who supports a doctor to write a book that helps people stay healthy. This is exactly what Kanishka did with Charaka. Summary. Why was Kanishka so important? 1. Mathura's second capital. Kanishka made Mathura a major city in his empire, which was important for trade and culture. 2. Coins. Kanishka's coins tell us about his empire and show that he respected different religions, including Buddhist, Greek beliefs and Hinduism. 3. Support for art and literature. Kanishka loved and supported art and literature, especially Sanskrit books, helping to spread knowledge in his empire. 4. Fighting the Chinese. Kanishka fought wars against the Chinese. Or the first battle, he won the second battle and took new land from the Chinese. 5. Support for medicine. Kanishka also supported the famous Dr. Charaka, who wrote a medical book that helped doctors in ancient India and is still important today. An easy way to remember Kanishka. 1. Kanishka was a king who made his empire very big. 2. He made Mathura an important city and loved art and literature. 3. He respected different religions, showing this on his coins. 4. He fought the Chinese, won new land and didn't give up after losing once. 5. He supported medicine and helped Charaka, the famous doctor, write his important health book. If deeper into any part or need more examples, feel free to ask. I'm here to make it as clear as possible for you. Let me explain Kanishka and Buddhism to you in the simplest way possible, step by step and with examples so you understand it perfectly. Kanishka's support for Buddhism. 1. Who was Kanishka? Kanishka was a great king of the Kushana dynasty, a powerful empire in ancient India. He became a follower and supporter of Buddhism, especially a branch called Mahayana Buddhism. Example: imagine a king who loved a religion so much that he did everything he could to spread it and make it grow. That's what Kanishka did for Buddhism. What is Mahayana Buddhism? 1. Buddhism at that time. Buddhism had two main branches: Hinayana, focused on simple teachings and meditation. Mahayana introduced rituals, image worship, and the idea of Buddha as a god. 2. Kanishka followed Mahayana Buddhism. In Mahayana Buddhism, people started worshipping the Buddha with flowers, perfumes, garments, and lamps. Rituals, special ceremonies, and image worship became very common. Example: earlier people saw Buddha as a teacher, but in Mahayana Buddhism, they started treating him like a god by praying and offering flowers or lighting lamps, just like people do in temples today. 1. The Relic Tower at Peshawar. Kanishka built a very tall tower in Peshawar, now in Pakistan. This tower was special because it kept relics of Buddha, items that belonged to Buddha or were connected to him. Greek engineer named Agesilaos designed and supervised the construction. Why is this important? It showed how much Kanishka respected Buddha and how he wanted to honor him with an amazing structure. Example: imagine building a huge tower to preserve something important from history, like a museum for a great person. That's what Kanishka did for Buddha. 2. The Fourth Buddhist Council. Kanishka organized the Fourth Buddhist Council to bring Buddhist scholars together and discuss important teachings. The council was held in Kundalavana Monastery near Srinagar in Kashmir. It was led by Vasumitra, a famous Buddhist scholar. What happened in the council? Scholars wrote commentaries, explanations on the Tripitakas, the sacred books of Buddhism. They gave Mahayana Buddhism its final shape, deciding how it should work. Example: think of the council as a big meeting where experts sat together to make rules and guide how a religion should grow. 3. Spreading Buddhism to other countries. Kanishka sent missionaries, teachers and monks to faraway places like Central Asia and China. These missionaries helped spread Buddhism to other lands. Why is this important? Because of Kanishka, Buddhism became a global religion, spreading beyond India. Example: imagine a king sending teachers to other countries to explain the good things about his religion. This helped Buddhism spread all over the world. 4. Building Buddhist structures. Kanishka built many chaityas, prayer halls, and viharas, monasteries where monks lived in different places. These structures became centers of learning and prayer for Buddhists. Example: think of these as schools and temples combined, where people could both pray and learn about their religion. Famous Buddhist scholars supported by Kanishka. 1. Vasumitra. He was the leader of the Fourth Buddhist Council. He wrote a book called Mahavibhasutra, which was like an encyclopedia of Buddhism. 2. Ashvaghosha. He was a poet and a Buddhist scholar. He wrote Buddha Charita, which tells the story of Buddha's life. 3. Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna was a great philosopher and Buddhist monk. He wrote the Madhyamaka Sutra, which explained Mahayana Buddhism. Why is this important? These scholars made Buddhism easier to understand for people. Kanishka's support helped them write their books and teach others. Example: imagine a king helping scientists or teachers to write books so more people can learn. That's what Kanishka did for Buddhism. How Kanishka helped Buddhism grow. 1. Building structures. He built chaityas, prayer halls, and viharas, monasteries. He built a tower at Peshawar to honor Buddha. 2. Spreading the religion. He sent missionaries to places like Central Asia and China to teach Buddhism. 3. Organizing the council. He sponsored the Fourth Buddhist Council, which shaped Mahayana Buddhism. 4. Supporting scholars. He supported famous scholars like Vasumitra, Ashvaghosha, and Nagarjuna. Why was Kanishka important for Buddhism? 1. He spread Buddhism to new countries, making it a global religion. 2. He helped develop Mahayana Buddhism, which became very popular. 3. He supported scholars and encouraged the writing of important books. 4. He built amazing structures like the tower at Peshawar. An easy way to remember Kanishka and Buddhism. 1. Mahayana Buddhism. Kanishka followed and supported it. 2. Relic Tower. He built a huge tower in Peshawar to honor Buddha. 3. Fourth Council. He organized it to shape Mahayana Buddhism. 4. Spread. He sent teachers to faraway lands to teach Buddhism. 5. Scholars. He helped famous Buddhist scholars write important books. If you have any questions or need even more details, I can help. Let me know. Let's dive deeper into Kanishka's successors and the decline of the Kushana Empire, step by step. I'll explain everything in the simplest way so it's easy to understand. Who ruled after Kanishka? 1. The Kushana Empire continued for 150 more years. After Kanishka died, his family continued ruling the empire for about 150 years. The main rulers after him were Huvishka and Vasudeva. Huvishka, Kanishka's son. 1. Who was Huvishka? Huvishka was the son of Kanishka. He ruled after his father and kept the empire strong. 2. Mathura became important. During Huvishka's rule, the city of Mathura in present-day Uttar Pradesh became a major center of culture and trade. 3. Religion. Like his father, Huvishka supported Buddhism. He built temples and supported Buddhist monks and scholars. 4. Example. Think of Huvishka as a good king who maintained everything his father had built. He made sure the empire stayed united and prosperous. Vasudeva, the last important Kushana king. 1. Who was Vasudeva? Vasudeva was another ruler of the Kushana dynasty. He ruled from around 67 CE to 98 CE. 2. What happened during his rule? By this time, the Kushana Empire became smaller. The empire was not as strong as it had been under Kanishka or Huvishka. Number 3. Religion. Unlike Kanishka and Huvishka, Vasudeva worshipped Shiva, a Hindu god. This shows that different religions were followed during the Kushana period. 4. Inscriptions. Most of Vasudeva's inscriptions, writings carved on stone, were found near Mathura. This shows that Mathura continued to be an important city even during his rule. 5. Example. Imagine a ruler trying his best to hold his kingdom together, but he faces too many challenges. That's what happened with Vasudeva. The decline of the Kushana Empire. What happened after Vasudeva? After Vasudeva, the Kushana Empire started falling apart. Small rulers, called petty princes, controlled different parts of the empire. 2. Why did the Kushana Empire decline? Several reasons led to their decline. New powers became strong. Groups like the Yodhayas, Kunindas, and Mallavas became powerful. They divided the territories of the Kushana Empire among themselves. These groups were local tribes that wanted independence from the Kushanas. The Nagas replaced the Kushanas in the Yamuna region around Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. The Nagas took over Kushana lands. 3. Who were the Yodhayas, Kunindas, and Mallavas? The Yodhayas were a warrior tribe known for their bravery. The Kunindas lived in the Himalayan region. The Mallavas were a tribe from central India. Example. Imagine a big kingdom slowly breaking into smaller pieces because new, stronger groups wanted power. That's what happened to the Kushanas. The Sasanians and the end of the Kushanas. Who were the Sasanians? The Sasanians were rulers from Iran. They became powerful in the 3rd century CE. Number 2. What did the Sasanians do? The Sasanians took over important Kushana cities like Peshawar and Taxila. They made the Kushanas their subordinates, rulers who worked under them. 3. The introduction of the term Hindustan. In 262 CE, a Sasanian inscription writing used the term Hindustan for the first time. This term became famous later, especially during the Mughal period. Example. Think of the Sasanians as new rulers who replaced the Kus in the western part of their empire. They even introduced a new name for the region. Summary of decline. 1. Strong rulers after Kanishka. Huvishka and Vasudeva tried their best to keep the empire strong. 2. Reasons for decline. The rise of new powers like the Yodhayas, Kunindas, and Mallavas. The Nagas took over parts of the Yamuna region. The Sasanians took over Afghanistan and the western part of the Kushan Empire. Number 3, end of the Kushanas. By the mid-3rd century CE, the Kushana Empire was gone. The Sasanians controlled the western regions and local rulers controlled the rest. How to remember this easily? 1. Huvishka, Kanishka's son, ruled well, supported Buddhism, made Mathura important. 2. Vasudeva, last big king, worshipped Shiva, ruled over a shrinking empire. 3. Decline, independent groups, Yaudhayas, Kunindas, Malavas, divided Kushana lands. Nagas took over the Yamuna region. Sasanians from Iran conquered the western regions and replaced the Kushanas. If you want me to simplify or add anything more, just ask. Let's go into even more detail, step by step, while keeping it super simple and easy to understand.
Who were the Kushans?
A long time ago, around 2,000 years ago, 1st, 3rd century CE, a group called the Kushans ruled over a big area. They ruled parts of India, Pakistan, and Central Asia. They were great warriors, traders, and also amazing artists. During their rule, they made many statues and carvings that became very famous. What is art? Art means creating beautiful things. It could be a painting, a statue, or a carving. In the Kushan times, their art included statues of gods, the Buddha, and scenes from daily life. What is Kushan art? Kushan art is the art created during the time of the Kushan Empire. It is special because, 1, it shows realistic statues of people, gods, and the Buddha. 2, it mixed Indian ideas with styles from Greece and Rome. Before Kushans, Buddha in symbols. Before the Kushans, people did not show the Buddha as a person. Instead, they used symbols to represent him. For example, a lotus flower, purity. Footprints, his walk through life. A wheel, his teachings called Dharma. People would look at these symbols and think about Buddha. Kushan art, Buddha in human form. The Kushans were the first to show Buddha as a human being. They made statues of Buddha that showed a calm face, eyes looking down in meditation, a robe with folds, like Greek statues, a circle of light behind his head, called a halo. This became very popular, and soon people all over India start making statues of Buddha like this. Why is Kushan art special? 1, realistic style. Kushan statues looked real, like actual people. Their style came from Greeks and Romans, who loved making statues with details like curly hair, muscles, and folds in clothes. 2, showed gods as humans. Before this, gods were not shown as people. The Kushans started making statues of gods like Shiva, Hindu god, and Jain Tirthankaras, Jain teachers. What is a relief? A relief is a type of carving. It is made on a flat stone where the figures, people or objects stand out. Think of it like a picture popping out from a flat wall. The Bacchanalian relief, Mathura UP1. What does Bacchanalian mean? The word comes from Bacchus, the Roman god of wine. Bacchanalian means a celebration with drinking and dancing. 2. What is this relief? It is a carving made of red sandstone found in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh. It shows a courtesan, a woman who entertains in royal courts. She is shown drunk or intoxicated, which was a common celebrations. 3. Two-sided relief. One side shows the intoxicated courtesan Mathura. The other side, not shown, shows a different courtesan named Vasanta Sena, who was also famous in stories of that time. Who were courtesans? Courtesans were women who performed dance and music in royal courts. They were often very talented and respected for their art. In this relief, they are shown as part of a happy celebration. How did Kushans combine cultures? 1. Indian style. They showed Indian gods like Shiva and Buddha. They used ideas from Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. 2. Greek and Roman influence. From the Greeks and Romans, they learned how to make realistic faces and bodies, detailed clothing with folds, use of halos, circle of light behind the head. Why is this important? 1. First Buddha statues. Before the Kushans, Buddha was only shown using symbols. They made the first statues of Buddha in human form. 2. Set rules for art. The way Kushan the standard for Indian art for many years. 3. Connected cultures. They brought together Indian, Greek and Roman ideas, making their art unique.
Example to imagine.
Imagine a red sandstone carving with a woman sitting at a celebration, drinking wine. Her clothes are detailed and you can see her facial expressions clearly. This is what the Bacchanalian relief looks like. Simplified takeaways. 1. The Kushans ruled India about 2,000 years ago. 2. They made realistic statues influenced by Greek and Roman art. 3. They showed the Buddha as a human for the first time, for their art included gods, celebrations and scenes from life. 5. The Bacchanalian relief shows a party with courtesans celebrating. If there's anything more you want to know or clarify, let me know. I'll make it even simpler.